these results are really going to help guide us, and it kind of gives us the ability to advance this project forward rather quickly. The Corral Copper Project is located 35 kilometers north of the town of Bisbee and the Bisbee mining camp, which produced over 8 billion pounds of copper with grades up to 23%.
Hello, welcome to Assay TV. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Ken Brophy, who is the CEO of Intrepid Metals Corporation. Intrepid are a Canadian company focused on exploring for potential high-grade copper, silver, and zinc in southeastern Arizona. Ken, fantastic. Thank you for joining us here on Assay TV today. Thank you, Leo.
It's great to be here.
If we could start things off, Intrepid Metals Corporation is a fairly new company. Can you give us a sort of some background to the company and what you're working on at the moment?
Yeah. So, as you touched on, Intrepid Metals is a relatively new company. We completed our initial raise of $3 million in May of last year, which included a strategic investment from Crescat Capital. Throughout 2022, we tried to really focus our efforts on building out a Arizona-based portfolio of drill-ready projects that fall within established mining areas that we feel have the potential to be developed responsibly and supply the key base metals that will play an important role in the energy transition. Clearly, we're very bullish on copper and targeted our project search within Arizona as it is a top-tier jurisdiction and the largest copper-producing region in North America. In less than a year, we've acquired 4 exciting drill-ready projects, 2 of which we have combined as part of a consolidation effort, and we've called that one the Corral Copper Project, which it alone provides us with a district scale advanced exploration project, and feel that each one of our projects has the potential to add significant shareholder value with some new discoveries.
Fantastic. And before we get into the projects, tell us a little bit about the team you've assembled there.
Yeah, I do think it's important that I recognize a few of the team members, as it certainly does take a strong team to grow a company and advance these projects forward. We have a strong board that is led by our chairman, Mark Morabito. Mark has extensive experience in the public markets, raising over $900 million to date, and it has led several companies to the New York Stock Exchange. From the technical side, we have Tony Taylor, who holds a PhD in geology and has worked for several major miners all across the globe, and more recently added Colleen Roach to our board, who holds a master in engineering and has recently worked at the Pinto Valley Copper Mine in Arizona. She also brings a strong ESG focus to our board. I'm also very fortunate to be surrounded by a strong technical advisory team, who all have extensive experience in Arizona, with each member adding important value, whether it be from exploration, the project development, and even permitting a recent copper mine in the state. I feel we have a great team to help us move these projects forward.
Fantastic. And if you could give us now sort of a high view of the 4 projects there, what have you got?
Yeah, so, as I touched on earlier, we added kind of 4 drill-ready projects in the last 9 months, with the most recent acquisition being part of the Corral Copper Project. The project boundary within Corral, we now have 30,000 meters of drilling data with some significant copper intercepts, which I encourage you to check out our news releases and go to our website. And these results are really going to help guide us, and it kind of gives us the ability to advance this project forward rather quickly. The Corral Copper Project is located 35 kilometers north of the town of Bisbee and the Bisbee mining camp, which produced over 8 billion pounds of copper with grades up to 23%. This area is well known for its high-grade copper, mostly within the carbonate replacement style deposits, or CRDs, as an example. Moving over to our Tombstone South Project, It's more of a silver lead zinc property, which is located in the same county, Cochise County, as the Corral project. Tombstone South is located, only 40 kilometers from the Corral project. So it gives us, lots of synergy opportunities when it comes to doing drill programs and other kind of exploration. One of the things that we really like about Tombstone South is it shares geological similarities to the Taylor deposit, which was purchased by South 32 in 2018 for $1.3 billion, which is located only about, I think, 60 to 70 kilometers kind of southwest of the Tombstone project. Since we acquired that project, we've completed an IP survey, which we're very pleased with, as it really helped firm up our understanding of the geological model and identified a new high priority target area that we're excited to drill later in 2023. And then as we move over a little bit further to the north in Arizona, we have our Mesa Well Project, which is another copper focused project. And it's actually located only 30 kilometers to the east of Faraday's Copper Creek project. It has structurally controlled copper oxide mineralization within the property, and previous drilling in the area indicated both alteration and mineralization intensified as the drilling started to move towards our project. So we're really excited about that one as well.
Excellent. If we could, focus in a little bit more on the Corral Copper Project. You mentioned that you've got a lot of historical data there. What are your plans for sort of piecing the project together over the coming months?
Yeah. It's interesting that you use the term piecing it together, because that's essentially what we've been trying to do. So, just for a little bit of context, the Corral Copper Project, it's certainly one we're excited about. And the area itself historically has seen some small scale mining that dates back to the late 1800s and the early 1900s. Some reports have referenced up to 50,000 tons of ore being shipped with grades up to 9.2%. However, as was the way back then, there were smaller patent claim owners who were mining their own claims or family-owned mining claims that have just kind of, sat there and worked for a while. The area itself has yet to be explored systematically because of that fragmented land ownership. It's been a complicated land ownership to work through. And there was even some, legal property disputes in the area historically. And I think a lot of that is what's really stifled the investment into the area. We've kind of made the time to kind of meet and spend time with local landowners and have listened and learned a lot about the historical conflicts. And, we've been able to secure now a robust 8,500 acres thus far. And we remain in active discussions with other landowners to further consolidate some of the key areas. The most recent acquisition, comes with almost 1,000 acres of patented mining claims and an additional 800 acres of surface rights that are outside the patented claims, and some of it actually overlay the property that we previously had. For those that might not be familiar, patented claims are essentially private lands which allow us to drill where we want, when we want, without having to go through a regulatory process with the government. Within these claims, we have almost 20,000 meters of drilling information, with many significant shallow copper intercepts. And while the core is no longer available, we will have to drill to verify the historical results. However, we do have all the assay reports from the previous drilling, which provides us confidence in the results and the data that we have. And we've also been able to secure airborne geophysical data, some work that was done by Anglo American back in 2017. They actually hold a right of first refusal over a part of the property. So when we combine the historical drilling with the modern geophysical data, of which we've identified several new target areas. It's an area that we're really excited about. When you combine historical drilling, modern geophysics, even some of the recent mapping, we feel this makes the Corral Copper Project, like really, once again, a district scale advanced exploration opportunity in a top tier jurisdiction like Arizona.
And as you mentioned, I mean, it's in an area where there are other mines there. It's got a long history of exploration and production. So you must be feeling fairly bullish about sort of the prospects for a new project in this region.
Yeah, of course. You know, as I mentioned earlier, Arizona is a top tier mining jurisdiction. And I actually recently saw an article noting that it was the largest mineral producing state in the US. Well, we know over 65% of all US copper production comes from the state of Arizona, and is home to many of the major mining companies. You know, one of the elements that I really like about Arizona, aside from the nice weather, of course, is, you know, you can work year round. You know, each one of our projects have great infrastructure and access, which avoids some of the costly logistics of flying drills around or building long seasonal roads to access the project area. I think this allows us to put more of our shareholder money into the project itself rather than logistics or kind of off-site expenses. You know, as a company, we've also committed to stay clear of projects that fall within the national forest, because as we know, this can delay project approval or add additional complexities, say, to the permitting process. For copper, you know, one of the elements that I really like about copper is I think it's an easy commodity for investors to understand. Everybody knows its uses, and that you know, we need more copper to transition to a you know, part of the energy transmission, whether it be electric vehicle, building more windmills, you name it. You know, therefore the demand will always be there. In fact, demand is currently outpacing supply, and there's a large and looming supply shortage that will drive prices higher, in our opinion, and will require more projects to get built. I additionally feel domestic supply, certainly within North America, will become more important. And based on the established yet stringent regulatory processes within North America, we know that these projects can be developed safely and responsibly. And you know, just to, you know, I think a clear example when it comes to the attraction to Arizona and copper, I think these can be seen by, you know, two recent, you know, 30 million bought deal financings, one for Arizona Sonora and one for Faraday Copper. You know, clearly investors see the value in investing in Arizona copper projects. And we expect they're going to see the same value investing in Intrepid as we grow our and develop our projects.
Absolutely. So if we were to take away sort of some key investor takeaways from Intrepid, what would you say the sort of the top things that investors should be looking for?
Well, I certainly feel we're currently undervalued, as we're only now starting to really talk about some of the projects. But you know, I'd suggest, you know, have a look at our website and our presentations. I feel that you know, we certainly have high quality copper and silver assets. We have a district scale and advanced stage exploration project for copper. All of our projects are in a great jurisdiction with excellent infrastructure. And I think we have the right experienced team to move these projects forward.
And you've only just started. Lots more lies ahead. So where can people go to find more information on the company?
So as I touched on, you can certainly visit our website at www.intrepidmetals.com. You can certainly email us at any time at invest@intrepidmetals.com. And encourage you to follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter at Intrepid Metals. Or you can certainly, if you're in town for PDAC, come by and check out our booth at 3133 to learn more.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Ken, for that introduction to Intrepid Metals, and best of luck as you start to work on these exciting projects.
Thank you, Leo. Certainly look forward to being able to provide you and others with more updates and more news ahead.